What's going on, y'all? DEH2 Productions back with a brand new episode of Let's Talk or Chill Stream. So you read the title of the video, and we're going to be doing some interesting topics from Toys R Us making a comeback next year to the Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair match supposed to happen due to the COVID-19 reasons. OnlyFans banning adult content and Hasbro on upcoming episodes of Power Rangers Down on Fury episodes in France. But So we're going to start things off with Toys R Us. We're going to go to the article and we're going to read the best way we can. And we're going to take our time, reading the article because this is big news. This is big news. So I used to love going to Toys R Us when I was younger. I remember, I think it was around 2002 or 1. Yeah, I think it's around 2001 when I went to the Toys R Us. I wanted to get them little big boxing gloves that me and my sister wanted it. So we ended up getting the little mini ones. And that didn't feel powerful to me. But as a kid, I just wanted the big toys, you know what I'm saying? Because I was getting older. I didn't want to play with the little kid stuff. But yeah. And I remember when I first got my 360 around 2008. So the first 360 I got, it was around Christmas. I played it for like one day on Christmas on Christmas Day, and then the next day I wanted to play again. All of a sudden, it just stopped working. So we took it back to Toys R Us, and because that's where I get my games from, Toys R Us. Then I bought a new one, still doing the same thing. Took it back again. Then for the third time, I got it from Toys R Us, and this is when my mother was in the hospital at the time. To go check up on something. Um, so I went home. I played the 360. I was testing it to see if it works or not. And I finally figured out why it wasn't coming on, why the picture wasn't coming on. So there's like this little adapter button in the back of the 360 button thing. So I figured it out. And from then on, I just play with I was playing my games. So that's my history of my 360 of not working and working and not working and carrying on. So I think to me, Microsoft should have told everybody who brought these 360 games back in the day when it first came out. I didn't brought my 360 way back in 2005 when it was first released. I brought it in 2008 because I was getting tired of the PS2 days. I wanted something new. So I got my games. I was having a ball. I was having fun playing my 360 games. Um, yeah. So that's how I got my first Xbox 360 from Toys R Us. And then years when I found out that Toys R Us was going out of business, I was shocked. I didn't expect the company to go out of business. I don't know why. I guess people just automatically stopped going to that place, you know, which I believe. What's up, Big D? How you doing? Monopoly at its most notorious. Yeah, I mean, I haven't played a game when I was young. I never did. I mean, I know a Monopoly, but I never played it. Except I played a few times when I was in my younger days, you know. So unless you play the slot machines, then yeah. All right, so let me share the screen so we can go to the article because this is not only big news, but this is history of the making. All right, so you read the title of the video. Making a comeback. More than 400 Macy stores next year. This is huge. The fact that a company is partnering up with Macy's to keep the company alive, which is actually the smartest thing Toys R Us has ever done. And here's the thing. Before I went to Toys R Us, I remember, KB Toy Stores. My first time going to, KB Toy Stores in 1999 when I was a big fan of the anime called Ronin Warriors. They had toys of the characters at KB Toy Stores as well as some Power Rangers toys and everything. I had the Lost Galaxy Megazord, and I think I got it from Toys R Us or KB Toy Store. I've always imagined me playing the original Megazord from the main movie Power Rangers because the classics are awesome. Well, the toys are, by the way, not the show, not so much. But because the Lost Galaxy Megazord had the horns on the side of his head and the little two things on top of his head, it kind of makes you think of the original Megazord. So yeah, the cable toy stores are a thing of my childhood. Macy's is joining forces with the owner of Toys R Us to bring an assortment of toys, games, and other gadgets for kids to more than 400 of the department stores, chains, locations, and online. The Toys R Us shop and shops in Macy's will roll out next year. The companies announced Thursday a large assortment of Toys R Us merchandises is now available on Macy's website. Our toy business grew uh, exponentially for Macy's in the past year, said Netta Dever. Netta. Okay, the last name, I don't like the way it sounds. Dever, Netta Dever. Macy's chief um, merchandising officer. Our partnership allows Macy's to significantly expand our footprint in that category. So what that means is that while he's partnering up with the Toys R Us, the money is going to end up being popping up. People are going to want to come to Toys R Us, you know, every other year unless they need some new figures. So, which is actually a good thing. The hope Dever added is that shoppers will visit Macy's in search for toys. Wow, so Macy's is going to end up selling toys. Wow, this is crazy. Yo, so it's kind of like a combination of Macy's and Toys R Us stuck together. So that way you can walk through Toys R Us and go to Macy's and you'll see some toys in there. That is amazing. Like that, yo, this is dope. This is dope. And pick up a few other items such as apparel or makeup along the way. Macy's could use the boost as it faces stiffer competition online and from big box retailers. Realtors, Walmart, and Target. You know, Target has the most toys. Every Friday I go to Target, I see most of the Lightning Collection figures. And the last time I've been to Target, I think it was like a few weeks ago, when I saw a Beast Morphers X King Morpher. I saw that Morpher still, and then I saw the Dino Fury Morpher. That was still in the stores, and nobody hasn't bought them yet. So I think Target and Walmart still has some, toys, you know, those who grew up with childhood franchises like Power Rangers and the Marvel franchises, they still have them in Walmart and in Target. The thing is, you barely see people buying them. Well, in Oxon Hill, Maryland, in Rivertown. So I'm from DC, so I don't buy toys or anything. But if I did, I would have reviewed them and I would have, collect them, just to do my reviews of it, you know what I'm saying? So more specifically, Macy's is going after a millennial mom, CEO Jeff Janae said Thursday during a conference call when these younger parents visit Macy's to shop for toys for their children, they often additionally purchase other higher margin margin items. He said the company hiked its fiscal 2021 outlook after reporting fiscal second quarter earnings and sales that Trout analysts estimates as it saw new customers online. Macy's shares closed Thursday nearly 20% long in a record one day again. Wow. So people are shopping on Macy's online more than Toys R Us. And if that's the case, how come they, wanted to partner with Toys R Us again? So people are not going to end up buying stuff from Toys R Us because a few years ago, we got the news that Toys R Us were going out of business. So therefore, I don't think people are going to end up shopping at Toys R Us because they might have some exclusive deals, but I don't know about Toys R Us because the PS5 are still hard to find. And I'm still holding out my hopes and dreams on getting a PS5 because I'm trying to save all of my money to invest into that system. So whether I get it on Christmas or sooner or later, it's best to just hold on for it for a while because scalpers are everywhere and it sucks. These PS5s should be in stores right now, even online, especially if Toys R Us are making a comeback next year. I would say get the PS5s in Toys R Us online and in the mail magazine, so that way when you look at it on the Toys R Us magazine, you would have thinking about ordering them, or you could just go and use your coupon to you know shop there and just get it yourself. But instead, you know, you getting people getting pissed off because they can't even find a PS5, and it sucks. So Toys R Us better step it up next year when they bring it back in more than 400 locations. Brand management company WHP Global earlier this year acquired a controlling interest in Through Kids, the parent company of the Toys R Us, Baby Soras, and Jeffrey the Giraffe brands. True Kids, which is backed by Solus and Alternative Assets Management, and funds managed by a private equity group. Uh, I can't even get it out. Private equity group RS Management bought the brands and intelligible properties from Toys R Us after the latter filed for Chapter 11 bankrupt protection in September 2017. Toys R Us was ultimately unable to emerge from bankruptcy on its own following a crippling 2017 holiday season, pushing it into liquidation. True Kids opened two mall pop-ups location for Toys R Us in 2019, but they shuttered earlier this year due to poor performances during the pandemic. WHP Global had them vow to reopen brick and mortar stores at some point. WHP Global didn't say how long it will partner with Macy's. Under the management Toys R Us website would be powered by Macy's, the company said. For a period of time, Target was running the iconic toy chain site, but that relationship fizzled in July 2020, which is next year. Man, Toys R Us is going to have a field day on their hands because here's the thing. Toys R Us used to be the king back in the day. Back when every year, every day, parents will come to their stores and buy toys for their kids, for their loved ones, for their favorite franchises like Ninja Turtles and Transformers and Power Rangers, etc., or even video games for that matter. They would literally spend their hard-working money on toys that their kids want because they love them. They love their child. You love your child so much, you want to, buy it for them so they can enjoy it and appreciate you for what you've done for them. You know, and I think the 2017 Toys R Us, I think what happened was a lot of people stopped coming to these stores and they hit a huge brick wall when it came to bankruptcy. And it is no, and it's no surprise to me that, you know, Toys R Us was almost canceled for a while at least. So ever since I heard about this news just now, I feel like there's a high hope for a franchise like Toys R Us moving to more than 400 locations next year. If that ain't, you know what I'm saying, if that is not a huge deal, I don't know what is. Honestly, I just feel like, Toys R Us is making a comeback. I feel like it's a long time coming, but I feel like it should have done, years ago before now, especially in the pandemic. And yeah, this is huge, y'all. Like, really. Let me take a look at the chat because we're about to go into our next topic in a few minutes. What is going on, Brandon? How you doing? Nice to see you. Big corporations have everything under a vice grip. They do. But as long as they don't go out of business, because people still need to spend their hard work and money on toys that they want, for collection or buy for their niece and nephews or their own children for that matter. You know, WWE have no real competition. Small businesses dying because too many Walmarts, Disney buying everything in sight, the whole 9 yards. Exactly. You see, Disney will buy anything and they'll turn it into something bigger. I mean, look what happened to Marvel, for example. You know, especially when the MCU started, the earlier years before the whole before Kevin Feige, came in and just turned it upside down with mixed reviews on what his announcement is going to be. And when you add politics and movies and stuff, when people complain about the issue, that's how you know he will defend it and act like, us complaining about problems in this movie is no big deal. Because if you put politics in your own films that is not needed in the first place, people are not going to want to watch it. And yet Rotten Tomatoes love them some MCU movies because if it's not MCU, then they're not going to like it. They'll praise every single MCU film that has politics in it. And that's sad. Really is. Which means big man gets a cut. I don't know who you're talking about. Unless you're talking about a released WWE wrestler, then you might be right. Programming Galaxy, what's up? Didn't Toys R Us discontinue? They have in the past, but since they're making a comeback next year, so this is like the news that I just found out a few minutes ago. So I wanted to do the story. You know, it did, but then yes, you talking to him though. I haven't been to Toys R Us since I was younger. Me too. You know, if I do go, I'll probably just buy some games or anything. But not the toys though, because one, I'm way too old to be playing toys. As a Power Rangers fan, I wouldn't mind buying them. Just I'll probably do some reviews of it and you know do some displays or whatever though. But only time will tell. So cost too. Okay, I don't know what that is though. You got to explain it to me. Target became all hipsters, so I avoided like a plus. Yeah, Target's, saying the company is kind of expensive sometimes. So, but I feel like every time I go to Target every Friday when I take my grandmother out, for them to buy something for me to buy something, if I can like, afford something, if I have some money on me, then yeah. Like if I look at a game, on the PS4 that's like 1999, you know, like I was spend like what $22, for a game that I haven't had yet, but I wanted to try. I'll get it. That's literally the only time I buy like a game out of Target. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. One of many reasons I do not go to Walmart. They were usually not far from a toy. Well, I can tell you one thing about Walmart. Walmart's games are very expensive than Target's. But if you go to GameStop, their games are cheaper. The recently released ones. But if you go like a Target and Walmart, their games like what? going for $60 or $80 or $100 for that matter for a PS4 game, which is stupid because you might want to bring them prices down for people that can't afford it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna get the PS5 if I didn't get my PS4. Well, I haven't played my PS4 in a long time, so I recently just playing God of War. I haven't finished the game yet because there are certain levels that I'm still stuck on. So I'm always going to YouTube and just watch how to get from certain levels and everything. Because I'm not that smart when it comes to you know gameplays and everything. Because it's hard for me to get to certain levels if I don't know how to play it. So I'm thinking about getting a PS5 one day. Me too, Brandon. But the thing is, for me, I gotta like hold off on it because I can't afford it. $500 for a PS5? Nah, I'd rather get my PS4. Still thinking about getting a Miles Morales game on the PS4 that I want to try. Even though the game is shorter though, but I heard a lot of people loved it. I pray to God CM Punk will show up in tomorrow AEW. Basically it's for September, Brandon. So CM Punk's debut on All Elite Wrestling is not until September. Him and Bryan Danielson's debut. So Toys was poor. They have, man. You know what? Here's the thing. Um, Battling Toys R Us actually was the king of toys store back then. They never had a problem, selling stuff that kids love and adults love, especially if you want to buy video games. I remember, what I'm saying. I remember back around, I think 2005 or in late 2004 when I went to Toys R Us to buy some games for Christmas. And I remember seeing some remotes like this for the PS2. I couldn't help but to think, what is this? Are they like selling remotes for the PS2? If so, that is like really, really strange, if you ask me. So yeah, that's kind of like how I discovered most of my childhoods on strange, game consoles, controllers. So I'll take DLC ruin gaming. Yeah, they do, especially MK11. Now, don't even get me started on MK11 because that franchise died out ever since they announced that, you know, they're no longer doing DLC characters after months of people waiting on the announcement. And once they got an announcement, it was already a done deal. And even though I don't have MK11, I just felt like, the game was just not that important. Even when they did some, updates of DLC characters like bringing Terminator, Rambo, um, Melina, all the other Mortal Kombat characters inside MK11. I just think that, they're doing way too much, to be honest with you, because MK11 was already done from the begin with. I don't know if you heard of Caboose. So ever since, everybody was talking about Caboose, everybody was getting blocked by him because they were criticizing him for crying about not getting everything free anymore now that NetherRealm Studios stopped working on MK11. So apparently he was blogging people on Twitter because he couldn't take criticism. I'm like, if that, what I'm saying? If that's not a punk move, I don't know what is. So you can't be getting mad at people for criticizing you for crying or anything for what you said on Twitter and what you said about your fan base. So that's the stupidest thing I've ever seen on Twitter, though. Future Boy Kamikaze was talking about it, and all the other MK Twitter accounts were talking about it as well. And I just couldn't help but to just think, why? People, man. DLC completely eliminated creativity. Well, it is what it is. SummerSlam, SummerSlam, aka Summer Scam, is this Saturday. I might watch SummerSlam, but I'm gonna get to that, later on. So just want to get through these chats before we move on to another topic. Are you going to get the Xbox Series X? No, because for one, I still got my PS. I mean, I still got my PS4 and my PS2 and my 360 and my Sega Genesis. So there's no way I'm getting an Xbox Series X, especially if it looks like a fridge or a mini fridge for that matter. So I'm good with that. SmackDown versus Raw is another example of DLC butchery. I don't think SmackDown versus Raw had any DLC character because the SmackDown versus Raw game I played around 2008 didn't have any DLC characters. Now that you think about it, so hold on. Let me turn my air on. I'm hot. Excuse me, folks. I'll be right back. Hold on. My bad, girl. I had to turn the air on. It's very hot. That's why I got my headphones plugged on so you don't hear the background. But yeah, you know. All right, see that. SmackDown vs. Raw 2011 had Nexus and Mask CM Punk as DLC exclusive. I never knew that. I never knew that they had like DLC characters though. I wish it was in its own game. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. All right, so let's move on to another topic everybody is talking about. Well, sort of. So I don't know if you guys heard of like OnlyFans. It's the app slash site that does like adult content. For simps that are because I posted a video earlier, my TikTok video on shorts about the news about OnlyFans removing adult content from their app because I guess times are changing and everybody's getting pissed off. Those OnlyFans creators and those who do OnlyFans, that strip off their clothes and everything and shake their booties and you know just doing stuff for simps that are paying them money to do so, and which I found sad because Twitch is doing the same thing too, which they're known, what they're famously known. Can't even get it out. They're famously known for, about SMR streamers, doing some weird stuff. SMARs and all that just sounds really, really weird. And that's why a lot of them are getting banned because look, they're not playing when it comes to, Brandon, they're not being a banning girl, they're just banning adult content. That's what you need to understand though. Because I done my research on OnlyFans and I find it kind of dumb. Because even though they make money on OnlyFans, but Kevin Samuels once said it, you're not gonna last 5 years doing OnlyFans. Like you're gonna have to work a regular jobs and everything. And I've said this in my past streams when I did a reaction to the mother and daughter doing OnlyFans. You're not gonna do OnlyFans forever. You know what I'm saying? Like at least go outside and get some air and do something. The OnlyFans is not gonna last long. And so I guess a lot of adult entertainers are doing OnlyFans. They're gonna end up getting upset because they're scared that OnlyFans are abandoning their content. Oh, freaking well. It's called life, bro. You got to move on. It's just sad that, a lot of simps are frustrated and calling OnlyFans out because they want to make some changes. And Twitch is doing the same thing, too. Like, y'all need to grow up sometimes, though. And I was going to do the video on TikTok earlier about why I don't want a girl who does OnlyFans, because if you're not getting attention from her, or she's not getting attention from you. She should have talked to you about it, so that way y'all could do some things together. So you ain't got to worry about her doing OnlyFans, getting attention from online dudes and everything. Because one, that's disrespectful, and come on, you got to jump back into reality here, people. All right, let's go into the chat for a minute. Are you going to get the Hasbro MMPR Morphle? No. It looks nice, but I'm not getting it. Too much money. I've completely killed all the main sources of income. I ain't mad. I'm not either. That's why I don't care about OnlyFans, because I'm not passionate about it. You know, I don't talk about it that much. You know, it's the only time I talk about it is when I'm bringing you news about it. So I could care less about that site because it's crazy. OnlyFans needs to be banned. I already told you, Brandon. Fix your grammar, bro. Your grammar is off. Twitch has been banning them. As do I have anyone. Well, Twitch has been doing it for a while now, and I had Twitch. You know, I had a Twitch account one time, and I was about to do my first streaming. You know, because my Twitch is based on my art. You know, I was going to be doing some art videos on Twitch. So, to me, I said, no, forget it. I just, you know, deleted my Twitch account because that don't even matter. Twitch sucks. Kind of boring sometimes, though. All you do is stream, and you barely have people coming in and admiring your work or anything. So that's why I'd rather not talk about Twitch. Trash. Hear that? It's the world's smallest. Very funny, Big D. They end like it's the end of the world. Well, those who does OnlyFans, those who do OnlyFans, yeah, they do. Watch Inigo White on the thing. Hey, Big D, you too much, bro. You know, so that's why you my dog, bro. Thought Hub, everyone. Yeah, that's what it's for. Twitch trash. Yeah, yes, it is. I am fixing my grammar. Good. Keep practicing, bro. I know what you're talking about, but sometimes it can be off. All right, so let's jump on to another topic, which is the WWE. Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair match was supposed to happen in Atlanta, but unfortunately, Sasha had COVID. So she caught the C-19. I don't know how, but I guess the match is not the match is not going to happen. And in all honesty, I don't even care about these two matches because I don't even care about Sasha Banks or Bianca Belair. Heck, only matches I care about is John Cena and Roman Reigns, even though I despise John Cena. The Roman Reigns heel character I care about more because you know what I'm saying, I could take Roman Reigns' heel character very seriously now because I feel like he's more watchable because he made SmackDown watchable because of the way he cuts his promos and he's more real with it. I feel like this is allowing Roman to be himself for the first time in a long time. So honestly, I feel like if Roman Reigns could beat John Cena this Saturday, you know, in 2 days in SummerSlam, I think John Cena can just go back to Hollywood and just do movies. So, or you could just retire. And I heard that Vince McMahon loved the segment between Cena and Roman Reigns because since he loved the promo that they cut, I feel like he's allowing them to create their own promos and create characters for their own self without giving them certain scripts that sounds pretty corny and sounds stupid. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if that's true or not. I just hope this, you know what I'm saying? I just hope that Vince McMahon keeps his word. So women's matches in WWE still mean little. They do. They do. And John Boy is doing the job, I think. Well, John Cena, he still sucks. Still cutting the same promos, still being a hypocrite. So why bother? Roman is allowed to be unscripted, which is true because ever since he turned heel, I feel like he's more magical. I feel like he just became more watchable ever since he turned heel. And I'm glad that they finally gave him a purpose. They finally gave him something to do, and I feel like I can watch him more and more when he wrestles and when he cuts promos. Because let me tell you something. When Roman is cutting promos, I feel like you want to take him seriously because he's that nigga. Because for one, he's not the type of dude that could go around and take whatever is his. And if you threaten him, and if you want to call yourself try to fight him, he'll beat you down in size. So that's how cool he is as a heel. If heels can sometimes cut promos that fans love, it work. It peak. And even if you have your heel traits as a babyface, you can still do that. But if they try to change you for what you once was before, it's a turn off. There's no way that, it can become boring and stale at the same time. So I think John is on a legend contract. I don't know what that means. I guess you have to tell me how what's going on, unless I do my research myself. John has been unscripted for years. No, he's been scripted because I feel like he wanted to turn heel. He said he wanted to turn heel at one point, but I feel like Vince McMahon just won't allow him to do. And I think it's the sad part because I want to heel Cena a long time ago because he's been carrying this promo for too long. Like, give him a different gimmick. They gave Roman Reigns a different gimmick, and it's working so far. But with Cena, it's not. So, heel Roman kind of reminds me of Triple H when he was a heel. Yeah, Triple H was a mega heel in 99 all the way up to 2006. So he's been heel for quite some time. And I don't know, man. It's like back and forth, heel and face. What's up, Sean Franklin? How you doing? John was never going to turn heel because he likes the merchandise money. And I think that's the biggest problem. Vince McMahon is too busy investing in John Cena to sell merchandise. And yet you have Roman Reigns that is making SmackDown watchable. How come he's not selling any merchandise? I don't understand that. John is at a legend stage of his career. He's going to be the character everyone, remembers him for better or worse. For worse. Because the character that he is right now is getting really stale to the point where you just want to change the channel. It is really obvious. So let's jump on to another topic before I end the stream. So let's talk Power Rangers for a minute. Now, ever since Dino Fury came out on Nickelodeon, the show was number one, trending on Twitter because of the episode, episode 4. Episode 4 of Power Rangers Dino Fury is, it's what got trending on Twitter like crazy. And episode 4 of Power Rangers Dino Fury is one of my favorite episodes because of the debut of Izzy and Javi. Like, I just love the episode. Episode 8 was one of my favorite episodes from season 1 of Dino Fury. And Dino Fury is off to a good start, even though they had some bad episodes, though. But I still like the season for what it is, though. And we've seen episode 9, 10, and 11. Episode 9 was just bad because looking back at my reaction, I thought it was good for a hobby focused episode because they never gave him any serious focused episode other than giving him more filler episodes. And gotta change it up, y'all, sometimes. But episode 10 and 11 are one of my favorite episodes. And especially episode 11 when Amelia was the Pink Ranger of the Year. She was trending on Twitter, because of the episode. Hunter couldn't, her actress Hunter Dino couldn't stop gushing over the episode, and so was the fans. The fans loved the episode. Heck, even I love the episode for what it is, and for that, it was awesome. So now there's this rumor going around that episode 14 that Lord Zed was supposed to come in episode 14 of Power Rangers Dino Fury, on the Halloween special. So it was supposed to be like some hallucination when illusion when Lord Zed pops up. Only one problem. Lord Zed was redeemed at the Z-Wave from Power Rangers in Space Countdown to Destruction Part 2. So how is he able to come back? But episode 12 was supposed to come out, but no news have come out recently about that. No announcement of what episode air is supposed to be, or episode 13, or episode 14. 13 or 14, excuse me. Because I think AC was supposed to have like 2 focus episodes. But I don't know, man. No news on the Gold Ranger when he's supposed to debut. We haven't had gotten that yet since this month is Power Rangers month. So we have yet to hear any announcements from it. Not like they talking about it on Fan First Friday, which I highly doubt they will. Because every time we go to Fan First Friday, all we keep seeing is like toys reviews, but no TV news and no movie news. So y'all better spit something out, Hasbro. So Power Rangers Dino Fury has been on a roll. I love the show. I love the characters. And I'm not a fan of the comedy duo still, and just not feeling it. And some recent Lightning Collection figures that recently just popped up. The Nejedi, Adam, and Billy, Black and Blue Rangers from season 3 of MMPR. The Nejedi modes recently just showed up online. I did my videos on it. I thought it was good. I thought it was great. So Hasbro has been on the road. I love how y'all just not focusing on Power Rangers topic. We're still talking about WWE and the video games right now. So I don't understand that. But yeah, I guess we could just go to the chat and talk about it some more before we yeah. John Boy is a coward. John Boy is a coward. He said he afraid of turning heel because of the kids. Well, I said it again. Who cares about the kids? You have the power to turn heel. What is stopping you? His role right now is to get Roman over. I hope so. I hope so. The fact that they brought him back to face Roman Reigns for the title, which he did not even work hard for, is beyond me. Can't stand when part-timers do this. I haven't heard about the 2K22, but 2K is still making games that are terrible. I don't think I want to get it because 2K20 was god awful. It was god awful because of the graphics and the glitches. Bro, 2K20 was a mess. Even the story mode was way PGs. Way PGs. You don't even want to, you know what I'm saying? You don't even want to play it. Heck, I didn't want to play it. I've seen it on YouTube, but I heard it was terrible. Don't bother playing it. It's not worth it. But I heard if you play 2K20 on the PS5, there are no problems. But if you play it on the original PS4, glitches are everywhere. So I want to know why is that? I don't get it. The only SmackDown vs. Raw I played is 2010. Yeah, I think I still got that game too, but oh well. Power Rangers 2017 movie sucks. It did. I've seen Tyrone Madness's reaction to uh I mean Tyrone Madness's review of the Power Rangers movie. I felt how he felt. The movie was trash. 2 hours of nothing. Third act of them morphing, the lackluster fight scenes with the putties, unmorphed and morphed, and the Zords look terrible. Goldar looked nothing like Goldar, looked like butterscotch Goldar. I mean, this is more like a bootleg Power Rangers movie that doesn't represent Mighty Morphin Power Rangers in it. I don't like it. So hopefully with Hasbro does a reboot of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers without time traveling, it'll be 10 times better than the 2017 garbage, the 95, and that crappy Turbo movie. I didn't even play online features if I continue to play 2K. Well, I don't do online play because I don't have the internet on the PS4. I don't have the PS network. So I don't want to talk about that. I have a feeling Finn Balor will interfere in the Universal title match this Saturday. Well, Finn Balor's character still sucks. I don't care about him. That's fine. Let me put the invite in the chat so y'all can I'll put the invite in the chat so y'all can come talk to me. If not, I'll just end the stream. I got so many notifications on Facebook. It's wild. Yeah, you got people making memes on Facebook about OnlyFans, which I can care less. OnlyFans, it's just, it doesn't mean anything to me at all. Yeah, why not you try doing it on the StreamYard? Like, don't you got a computer or something, Brandon? 2K15 was born. I still got that 2K6. I still got that 2K16 game on PS4. I haven't played that in a while, so I haven't touched it. 2K14, 2K16 were awesome. I mean, yeah, they were a better game than 2K17 or 18, or for that matter. What's good, man?
Hey, how you doing?
It's good, man. Finally get to talk to you in person.
Yeah, long time coming.
Yeah, man. So
Hold on, excuse me for a second.
it's all good, bro.
Yeah, I'm trying to test out if my earphones would work on this.
I mean, it's working fine though. I mean,
Oh, good.
yeah. I mean, I gotta hear your thoughts on the match with Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair. That's if it's gonna happen or not.
Well, that really depends on whether she's going to test negative or not. I really don't care.
Me neither.
Because let's be honest, the women's wrestling hasn't been important in how many years?
Since forever.
Exactly. Even when it finally became women's wrestling again instead of just divas.
Oh yeah.
Even with that, with it no longer no longer it being the focal point of their looks. Even then, it's just still. It just seems like for years, the only thing WWE really knows how to really do is the men's main event, but that's about it. Probably not even.
And you barely get to see women main eventing, matches and everything.
Don't even get anybody started on Charlotte Flair being jammed down everybody's throats.
Oh, trust me, she's been worse.
My boy
no
TJ,
other woman has had a chance to get that title.
My boy TJ, who's been an avid wrestling fan for 3 decades, has told me that. Remember the match between Charlotte and Asuka?
Yeah, I remember.
My boy told me that Charlotte and Ric Flair complained to management to change the finish to the match.
What?
Asuka was originally supposed to win.
I never knew this though, because when I remember originally, Charlotte beat Asuka clean though. That's what I remember though. But
that was what the finish was changed to.
That's strange though. Like they want to get everything handed to them on a silver platter because they're the Flairs. Yep. Like that doesn't make any sense. That's not how wrestling works.
I've noticed that some wrestling family favoritism has been happening, whether it be the Ortons, the Flairs, and most notoriously the Inoue family. You know, the family with the Rock, Rikishi, Yokozuna.
Oh, the Samoans. Yeah.
Although Roman's definitely looks better than ever, but somehow Nia Kraps is still on the roster. She's made absolutely zero improvements to her wrestling style, physique, you name it.
Yeah, plus she's been bossing nothing right. And not to mention, I remember the time when she broke Becky Lynch's nose.
Yeah, she was still injuring people.
She's dangerous.
Yeah, that was one of the main complaints about Bill Goldberg back in the day. Even in his
Lord.
Bret Hart, anyone?
Yeah, I remember.
Bret Hart in a recent shoot interview. By the way, I chose to watch them tonight. Bret Hart said in a shoot interview about how unsafe he was in the ring. And if you know Bret the Hitman Hart, he does not sugarcoat a damn thing.
Wow. Seriously?
He once gave his honest opinion about Triple H, that he had a great look and a great character, but when it comes to wrestling ability, there's nothing unique that he really does. And I think that's fair. I think that's a fair criticism.
Yeah. I'll be honest.
When it comes to Hogan, he's so salty. It isn't even funny. But I don't blame him.
Goldberg used to be a beast back in the day in WCW, but when he came into the WWE, he had some okay matches and moments though. But once he came back in 2016, I guess he had a reason since Brock Lesnar, Paul Heyman challenged Goldberg to a match of Survivor Series, and he really beat him clean for a few seconds. 2 spears and 1 suplex.
They say that Goldberg can only really work those short matches. The first WWE run, he was working those longer matches, and they didn't look as good. It also didn't help that he was facing Triple H in his Evolution era.
Oh no!
And he was up against a younger Batista. I don't know how good he really was back then. He may have still been green.
I don't think I remember him wrestling Batista back then, though, either.
Oh, he definitely went up against Batista. Remember when Triple H put that bounty on him? There was a storyline where Triple H put that bounty on on Goldberg, and Batista ultimately won it by putting a chair under his ankle and stepping on it.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, it's just dawned on me though. Yeah.
To me, I think the guy with the best use of the chair on the ankle was Mark Henry in 2011.
Oh wow, Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And Mark Henry, he was like a beast back then too. Because I mean, when he was like a threat, he actually meant something. He actually made you want to take him seriously. Even his little
that was his one
rivalry with the Undertaker, though.
That was his one heel world champion run. Sometimes it just takes one moment in your career that can last ages.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
I think the main thing with Mark Henry was, even when he was the silverback in 2006 and 2007, there were so many better, more charismatic heels on the roster that he never really had much of a chance. In those days, he had to contend. He was a heel on the roster on SmackDown when the top heel was Edge. Yeah, you're not really competing with that.
Nah. And speaking of Edge, he had a perfect comeback last Royal Rumble when the crowd was popped, and he looked really healthy. He looked good. Even his match with Randy Orton was the storyline with him and Randy Orton was really interesting.
Yeah.
And the match itself was all right, though. I wouldn't call it memorable. It was just all right.
Yeah. And I love how people were complaining about the second match with Orton, where Orton came out on top. I'm like, come on. Sometimes you're not gonna win them all, and it's a work. It's not a shoot. He's not gonna win them all, though. Edge did win the feud. And usually the baby faces win the feud, unless there's unless the heels win one for an end game.
True that. But I think Edge doing a feud with Seth Rollins now. I can tell the storyline is going somewhere. That's if they know how to work with it, though, because SmackDown is like a okay show, but it also is worse than Raw because of the certain angles that they got going on when it comes to the creative team.
SmackDown's actually been the better show.
Oh yeah, always has been. Despite the pandemic last year. But
even with they finally given Drew McIntyre his justice.
Yeah. To be honest, speaking of Drew McIntyre, I haven't watched Raw in a long time. I just don't find him, a threat anymore because
he's another example of fickle fans. They want a certain guy. They want a certain guy pushed. Okay, fine. They actually pushed that guy, and next thing you know, 3 months later, it's like, oh, this guy's boring. Oh, it's the same old crap with him.
Yeah.
And you wonder why. And you wonder why Vince McMahon doesn't give the fans anything, because he knows.
Never have.
He's like, you know what? Why should I give you what you want? You'll just complain anyway. So we're going to do what I want instead.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to get the same reaction anyway. I might as well get.
Yeah, that does make kind of sense, though.
Going back to Edge, I think they screwed up when Roman beat Edge. You know what they should have did? They should have had Roman try to beat on Edge after the match with a chair or something, then Cena come out and make the save, and then Cena and Edge share a moment in the ring. Old rivals.
Oh man, bro, you hit the nail in the coffin right there. Same ring, the old rivalry from 2006.
Yeah.
07.
I don't know if that was a shoot when he said it, but Edge once said in 2012 that Cena was his greatest rival in the business.
Although of course.
Party, but I don't know.
I mean, of course, Cena and Edge rivalry was like
that was definitely a memorable feud.
And JR, he sold every moment of it though. He made it watchable. The fact that two superstars made the story more entertaining, as always. Because with Edge on TV, you feel like you want more. His acting, his promos, the way he cuts, and the way he wrestles, you could tell he's very serious about this stuff. And if you notice, before WrestleMania, the triple threat match at WrestleMania, Edge was saying how Daniel Bryan has had more title opportunities than Roman Reigns. But as soon as he got back, he haven't had one championship opportunity since he returned. So it's been years since he turned. I mean, since he retired from a neck injury. Now that he's back, he hasn't had one championship opportunity since he had to work hard for it. Since he's wrestled every single match. So I don't know if that was a shoot he was doing on SmackDown, but it sounded real to me.
Yeah. You want to know? You want to know something? You want to know something funny?
Yeah.
Christian had the more impressive comeback this year. Although, to be fair, it's two different companies, so that's a bit unfair, but still.
Yeah. But AEW Rampage, I did a reaction to that show last Friday. No, it wasn't last Friday, but I think it was last Saturday. I thought it was a great show. The crowd was energetic. The matches were really good. The ending was a mix, but I had a good time with the show.
Nice to see that Sting can still go.
Oh yeah, bro. I did a reaction to that match earlier when they Sting through the table and he just got up like it didn't hurt. I'm like, how in the world? Because I can tell it doesn't really hurt when people put you through a table. Because even though the table is made out of wood, but once you get back up, it doesn't look like it hurt. But with Sting, on the other hand, it looked like he didn't take anything. That's how you know when a legend is the GOAT, he the GOAT. So
yeah, Sting most definitely is the greatest wrestler in my opinion of all time. You could argue Bret Hitman Hart, but still.
Yeah.
I'd say Sting. I'd give Sting the narrow edge.
Oh yeah.
And I think those tables are actually designed to be incredibly breakable.
Yeah. But I don't think it's going to hurt unless you put all that power into your opponent through the table. I don't bet you that will really hurt. But if you put like less power on your opponent through the table, they're not going to want to, take it like it hurt anything. They'll probably get up and fight more. Because
what they made
what's the example?
You know what they made more breakable back in overtime? Guitars.
Yeah. Oh,
and the main reason before that was because the very first guitar shot on TV was Honky Tonk Man on, I believe, Jake the Snake Roberts. And that guitar didn't break so easily, and it gave Jake Roberts a head injury. So they started using more breakable guitars. I think Honky Tonk Man started that, and then Double J.
Yeah.
And then recently Elias, though he's retiring that gimmick.
And the thing is, though, WrestleMania, the YouTube creator, he actually talked about that of real weapons used in the wrestling ring are real and nothing fake about it. Especially the guitars,
the sledgehammer is definitely real.
I keep having some mixed feelings on the sledgehammer though, because when Triple H hit Big Show in the back of the head, in 1999 episode of SmackDown when him and The Rock and them had a Bury the Laugh match, I remember Triple H hitting Big Show with the sledgehammer in the back of the neck. I don't know if he hit it for real, because if he did, he would have had a serious brain concussion, and the bone in the back of his head would have looked like pushed forward when it's cracked. If he actually did that for real.
There was an old wrestler named Mr. Hughes. He usually wore a shirt and tie and sunglasses for his wrestling matches. He was mainly seen in the 90s, and he was once Chris Jericho's bodyguard. He used to be a big guy, but then he had surgery and lost a shit ton of weight. He said that he was talking about his fist, but I think the same thing would apply to weapons. They would go in full speed and then slow down at the last second so it doesn't hurt.
Oh Jesus!
And with enough practice, you can pull it off.
See, this is why I don't even want to become a wrestler. I mean, in games I would, but not for real, because you would die instantly if you go through some stuff like this with real injuries, have multiple surgeries. It ain't worth it, because you will be.
It was even coming up in the business was even worse back in the 80s, especially if you tried to. It was even worse if you tried to weasel your way out of practicing a spot. Like, for example, according to Sting, Jim Hellwig, as we know, the Ultimate Warrior, Cowboy Bill Watts wanted to do a certain spot with him, and Hellwig didn't want to do it.
I see why. Because if you're doing these stuff like this, man, you will know that your career will be ending just like that, and you ain't gonna want to wrestle again. And look what happened to Lex Luthor, all steroid up in the late '90s.
Yeah, because he didn't do enough back exercises, put way too much strain on it, and the steroids also didn't help.
No, and what happened? It caused him to lose some of his body, lost a lot of weight, and he looks all crippled because of the juice.
Thank God he was thank God he was able to walk again. Recently he was starting to walk again, which is good.
What now?
I think in recent years, yes.
Oh, okay. I was going to say if you're telling me that he was able to walk just now, I'm like, how does he wait so long to be able to walk?
The guy who you don't want to end up like is Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Oh no!
If you've seen his recent pictures, that face just screamed "kill me."
Yeah, because I think Bob Heenan. Wasn't he announced like with the Gorilla Monsoon back then?
Yes.
Oh, but didn't he die though?
Yeah, Monsoon died in '96, and Bobby the Brain Heenan went off script in WCW to mourn the loss of him and said, "I would like to pay a tribute to my friend Gorilla Monsoon."
Oh, okay. But I heard that Bob died of throat cancer because.
Oh yeah, it was the throat cancer that made him look the way he did.
Oh man, that's worse.
I can't even look at that.
Me neither, though, because you know what I'm saying. I hate looking at pictures of people with cancer. It reminded me of my grandfather when he died of pancreatic cancer. I cannot deal with this. I can't. But I think that should be a light lesson to all the wrestlers who want to juice it up. Think before you do something because you don't want to end up like they did, because it's not worth it.
Sting got off the juice pretty early in his career, and I think that was a smart decision on him.
That's good.
The whole steroid scandal has caused Hulk Hogan to get off the juice, and when he returned in '93 against Yokozuna, he was noticeably almost half the size he used to be. Speaking of Yokozuna, I remember the week after Yokozuna died, The Undertaker in a match against Val Venus had a Yokozuna shirt on. Because that was one of his boys.
When was that?
2000. Undertaker versus Val Venus. He was wearing a Yokozuna shirt under his blue button shirt.
Yeah. I might have to look him up.
Going back to WrestleMania again, there was this recent video that they made about what attires wrestlers wore one time.
Oh yeah, I remember.
I did not know Kane once wore all black. That was at that No Way Out 2001 pay-per-view when Taker wore that bodysuit.
No, Undertaker wore that bodysuit in 2000. It was representing the corporate ministry days, though. And if you actually look at the uniform,
he did wear them then, but he wore one once in 2001. It was at No Way Out, and Kane wore an all black, no red on him, except his mask had red, but his tights didn't.
That's weird. I don't remember Kane wearing all black though.
He did once.
Oh.
I'm shocked they didn't even bring up the John Cena Japanese outfit that he wore in Japan. Or the yellow outfit he wore against Daniel Bryan.
Who? Kane?
No, John Cena. He wore an all yellow outfit against Daniel Bryan. He wore those yellow pants and yellow boots.
What? Ew.
It was against Daniel Bryan at Velocity 2002.
Oh yeah, that was before he turned into the Rapid John.
Yeah, he was rapping at that point. He was still using the theme. He was still using the insert base here theme.
Yeah,
and he also wore long blue jeans once at the Royal Rumble 2003.
Yeah. and that's when he went like full on hip hop thing. And I mean, here's the thing about John Cena. The ruthless aggression John Cena, I took seriously because of his gimmick. He can rap, he can joan on people,
Yeah, the
and
nice he's getting.
yeah, he was very entertaining to watch. But once 2005 came along, that's when you notice the early stages of the Super Cena that we all know now was starting to become more stale. But he was still rapping though. But the Super thing was still teased early on around 2006.
It kind of warped in by that point.
Oh yeah.
It was the best in late 2002 and early 2003 when he was much more. Where it sounded like a real rap.
Yeah, when he was freestyling, dissing all the rappers and everything. I remember when
When he said "kill the beat,"
talking about he was rocking another fella in the studio. I'm like, pause, bro. Like I remember just watching a lot of his old rapping clips on YouTube, like years ago.
Go back to being a card jacker.
Thinking,
go back to being card jacker. You against me, you're gonna choke like the Packers.
Oh man, that line was fire.
That was, even though the Packers didn't really choke, they got completely killed by the Jets. And Taz was like, Jets took him out.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Taz is a Bills fan.
Good old Taz, man.
No, his team. His team is actually the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, because he's from New York, so no. Actually, he's from Philly, so yeah.
No, I'm pretty sure he's from New York.
Is he though? Because
pretty sure he is, but he must be from the northern part of New York. I don't know, but I don't know if it's Red. I don't know where Red Hook is in New York.
Oh, okay.
Probably the Bronx.
Could be that though. But yeah, man. WWE. Oh, I forgot to tell you this too about the topic that I was about to do. So I don't know if you heard of Vince McMahon. There's a rumor going around that he might be selling the company. If he does,
I think I have a good idea on who it might get. It'll probably most likely be sold to Disney, which would create a new set of problems they would not find a Dave Filoni to bail them out of.
Because listen, knowing how Disney is, because Disney is, a family-friendly company.
That dude is going to hold on to that. The way I think that dude's going to hold on to the company until the day he dies.
Yeah, and that's why it's going to continue to run under the rug. It's obvious to me that Vince McMahon, he doesn't want to change the format from PG back to TV-14, because if you go by the TV-14, it could be a good start. Ratings would go up. People would be talking about the storyline about the years to come.
In 1997, it actually was PG. So
and 1998 too.
The piss poor product.
Yeah, 1998 was PG too.
Yeah.
But guess what? The ratings were still going up though because of the storyline with the Austin and the McMahon rivalry, Taker, and everything. I think that's what made
It's not like it needs to go back to say blood, guts, and fire and half naked women. But nowadays they've gone to the extreme opposite side, where it's just corny and just bland as pizza crust.
Oh my gosh! And I bet the Disney will love that though.
And you can't really blame the talent because it's not entirely their fault.
Yeah, I know it ain't though. But when it comes to I don't know if you remember Undertaker criticizing today's WWE, saying that it was really soft. Xavier Woods of the Fat Day, like he always takes offense to everything when people criticize the company for being terrible and everything. And when Undertaker made that comment,
I'm shocked he hasn't blocked me on Twitter yet, even though I haven't really been crapping on the WWE lately.
Wow.
Yeah, so he's of the. It doesn't surprise me that he's of the crowd of, like everything we do, hold us to no standards. I know JBL blocked me and I never even tweeted him.
How?
I don't know.
That's dumb.
The Young Bucks also blocked me on Twitter. I never even tweeted them.
I don't understand. Like, if you have a comment on their page, they find ways to block you. That's
And
strange.
make no mistake about it, AEW is not without their flaws either.
Oh yeah, true.
I mean, you got Kenny Egomania and the Bucks reigns of terror.
Ugh, can't stand the Young Bucks.
At least Kenny got somewhat of his comeuppance against Christian.
Yeah, which by the way was a good match though. And every time I look at the Young Bucks, I can't help to think if I'm watching Power Rangers or looking at the circus show. Because all I'm seeing is flips and kicks. And I'm like, can y'all just do something else? Even Jim Ross said at one time, look, I get you like wrestling, but you got to do something else. Like, try something new instead of doing the same movements over and over again.
Right.
And everybody in AEW criticized Jim Ross for what he said. He basically spoke the truth. Like, you sitting there doing all the acrobatic moves all the time and nothing new has happened. So, AEW wrestlers are just like the WWE wrestlers. When a legend complains about the product,
they're just I've learned
they don't take criticism real.
I learned just as quickly. I learned pretty quickly that they're just as bad at taking criticism.
And that's sad though. Like, people just don't know how to take criticism. Because criticism can help them get better at their product.
Right.
What's wrong with the echo?
Yeah, I don't know what the hell's going on with that.
Yeah. But yeah, man, I just think, if Vince McMahon is willing to sell the company, and if it does go to Disney, I think it will become way unwatchable because Disney is a PG company. Just imagine them doing a certain segment on Raw and SmackDown. If it gets really corny, really kid friendly, bro, I will bet you half of the talent would stop watching. Would stop working for WWE if there was a segment with the New Day, because the New Day is PG is I don't know what, because they'll do anything and everything to entertain the people, especially the kids. And I think that's where Disney is at right now.
Galaxy, ESPN is owned by Disney. You should know that by now.
Wait, they do?
Yeah.
I had no idea. Because I thought
Disney also owns ABC News.
This is the first time I'm finding this out.
Just like how Time Warner owns CNN.
That's weird. Disney owns ESPN. I thought it was like a separate company.
No.
I had no idea, that they own it though. This is the first time I'm finding this out. Like, really. And so tell me this though. Since the WWE is supposedly about to go out of business soon, why would they remove the WWE network and move it to Peacock and think that's going to help anything for the state? It's just going to make things worse because Peacock is removing certain stuff from the Attitude Era.
Yeah, that's why I just watch. That's why I just stick to watching stuff on YouTube if I can find it. And there's some stuff you can find on Daily Motion, even though Daily Motion's slower than molasses in the wintertime. But
oh yeah. And here's the thing though, ever since I got this Fire Stick, I used to have Xfinity, but not anymore. But when I got the Fire Stick, I noticed that I got the WWE Network channel. So that means if any pay-per-view that's coming out this year, I can only watch it or do my reaction or reviews of it. So I wouldn't have to pay for it on WWE Network, where I can just watch it on the network since I got the Fire Stick. Sounds like I'm game. But am I gonna like the pay-per-view? No. But am I glad I got the Fire Stick because I got the WWE Network channel on there? Of course I am. Plus, I got free movies on there, so it's like I'm good. Because I know if you get the Fire Stick too, you'll probably get like free movies and you'll probably get like all the channels on there as well. Yeah, I got like 1,000 channels on my Fire Stick. So are you ready for the football this year?
Oh yeah. There was a preseason game happening, but as soon as I found out that Jalen Hurts wasn't starting, I chose to watch old wrestling shoot interviews instead. Particularly Stone Cold Steve Austin interviewing William Regal.
Oh man. Oh, William Regal, bro. The British
most underrated wrestler of all time. Though you could argue Owen Hart.
Yeah. I was watching the Washington football team preseason game the other day. The team still sucks, but there are some potential players that have a future with the franchise. And I saw some good performances from the defensive line and the offensive line. But there were some still issues when it comes to tackling. And I feel like the defense need to get way better if they want to be a better team. Because last year we had plenty of chances, though.
Based on some of the things I've heard about the Eagles in this game, there's definite stuff they need to work on.
Yeah.
And they ain't got much depth, but I don't know. We'll see if they tighten up the screws in the coming weeks. And as far as Washington, I would keep an eye on that Taylor Heineke guy.
Oh yeah, he a beast though. That
guy could emerge into a contender.
Oh
they
yeah.
They gave the Buccaneers the best fight in that playoff run last year. Every other opponent they faced, they completely steamrolled.
Yeah, but I feel like Heineken, he has a future ahead of him though. He did all right, for his first playoff game. But I feel like the offensive line could have protected them a little bit more better. We would have had more touchdowns. We would have
probably why he was always scrambling.
Yeah, because besides him doing online schoolwork and anything, I mean, first of all, education comes first. You got to do it before football and stuff, though. But at least he was able to put himself out there to do the best he can as a quarterback. He's not afraid to get hit. And plus, he can move too. Not a lot of quarterbacks do that, though. But with Heineken, a young quarterback like that, he's able to do what he has to do to get the first downs if nobody was able to protect him. And that quarterback from Miami Dolphins, he was good, a little bit. I hope that the next preseason game that we ended up playing will do a lot better this time. Because, and let's not forget the name change too, because
that's even more BS.
Yeah.
The woke culture is an absolute cancer.
Ain't a doubt. I think that's what killed the Redskins in the first place.
Right.
Because of the name change, though.
Although Snyder's been running that franchise into the ground for decades.
Since 99.
Oh, yeah. I mean, back when, crap, I keep forgetting the name. I keep forgetting of their previous owner. He also owned the Lakers at one point. I forget his name. But when he owned them, they used to be serious, especially in the late 80s and early 90s. Although they haven't really been the same ever since they tried starting that one quarterback that ended up being in the House of Representatives.
From what team? The NFL or the NBA?
NFL. No.
Oh, okay.
When the Redskins started got a new quarterback after Mark Rippon left, and they brought in Norv Turner,
and that didn't work out. Because I feel like this team has a history of training players from different teams that can't even get nothing fresh and new from college, and it would have been cool if they actually, for once in their lives, in their franchise lives, get a coach from a college football that is serious, that is passionate about the games, that can discipline the team, when it comes to defense and offense. Because in the past, we've always had coaches that are soft, that don't take the game seriously, even at their post-game interviews.
Or just go in completely unprepared.
Yes.
Which is what our coaches did last year. Playing down, we were also notorious for playing down to teams. It got to the point where we weren't even playing down to teams anymore. We just played it. We just straight up sucked.
Yeah, so did we though. Even though we lost like more games and we won more games, but I feel like in order for us to be a good team, we need to be really disciplined and step up to score more touchdowns and win every other games. But nowadays, ever since Ron Rivera has came to the family, we've been doing decent, but not like he was during his Carolina days. Because once we got some of his flavor, in the Washington football team, I feel like we'd be doing some pretty good, some decent games. We win and we lost some, but
they were a very blue collar team that just went out there and did their thing. They would probably have more wins if they would have had at least 2 more wins if they weren't sloppy in key situations. One of those games against New York, they definitely should have won.
Oh man!
Although the Eagles definitely should have won one of the matchups, but what are you gonna do?
I'm trying to remember last year. Did we won against New York? Because I know we lost to them one time, but I don't know if we.
You lost to them both times.
Oh God!
One of them was a fumble in crunch time.
Oh no! I can only imagine how the regular season is going to be this year. I just hope that this team can, finally step up to the plate and do better. Because if not, then it would be a saga continuing.
Although you can't get too mad at how your season ended last year. I mean, you put up a fight against the eventual Super Bowl champions. It could be a bit hard. It would be more heartbreaking if you were a more legit contender on paper. But not something.
On paper, but in the road game, it's a lot worse.
You can only all they can really do is maybe keep on course with that momentum.
Yeah.
The Eagles are trying to get back, trying to make the biggest, most spectacular comeback ever witnessed. The type of comeback that would make John Travolta snivel in jealousy, to quote Goldust.
Yeah, man. I already know the feeling.
With Dallas, it looks like Dak's still not 100%. He still might not be able to come back yet. I don't know. And New York. Yeah. What's there to really say about them aside from if Saquon doesn't play up to expectations, he might be gone. And they're still bitching because we lost to you guys and they got eliminated. Maybe you guys should have won more games.
Yeah.
Even though they did get screwed over against Tampa, but still.
And I don't know if you heard about EDP 445 because he's a hardcore Philly fan. But I don't think I would be seeing
supposedly. He's been rejected by the Eagles fan base a long time ago. I remember I got him to dance for me one time in 2018 because the main Eagles YouTubers that I watch are Philly 500, Desert Eagle 90, Joey Shakes.
Yeah, I still watch them from time to time though.
And on Desert's chat, I said that his takes were dog shit, and EDP got so butthurt over that because I didn't tell him an Instagram direct message, which is what I should have done. And then he ended up making like a 7-minute rambling video, and next thing you know, he made that video while I was asleep. I woke up, I got about 15 of his incessant childish fanboys come after me because that's what he does. When you would make a video saying that he's a dumb fuck that doesn't know a damn thing about football and is a man child or whatever, he'll kick the camera on, say your screen name, the very first thing he says, and then it'll be like a 7 or 8 minute long nonsensical video, just completely.
Man, what's even crazy
is rambling, and you can easily hear the butthurt in his voice. And the next thing you know, you get like 30 fanboys coming after you.
Good God Almighty!
They'll raid your comment sections. They'll raid your direct messages. Although I only got one in my Instagram DMs, but still.
Shoot, EDP, you know what I'm saying? He gone out of YouTube though because ever since what happened to him and Predator Poach, two
Oh
of the
yeah,
most
because
stupid people on
he was
earth.
texting all these underage girls, and eventually it got the attention of guys that decided to create 13-year-old decoys, and one of them offered a chance to meet him at some random motel or apartment complex in Bakersfield, and he took the bait like an idiot.
Yeah.
And
especially we're talking about some cupcakes. And he got caught.
And you know what the worst part about it all is? He still considers himself the victim. He made a video about a couple weeks later trashing Chet Goldstein, CC Unit, the two guys that caught him, alongside Cold Raven, that Ravens fan that was making videos for months on end, exposing him for this, and finally Tyson, aka Master at Work, who was also exposing him. And Tyson's been the one covering what he's been doing lately. I mean, he eventually left Bakersfield. He lied about going to Amarillo, Texas, where he's actually in Henderson, Nevada, co-leasing off somebody.
Golly.
Every time he has tried to come back on YouTube multiple times, but every time he gets to at least 500 subscribers, YouTube automatically takes his channels down. His Instagram, he got locked out of one Instagram, and another Instagram of his got terminated.
Instagram, Facebook, any other social media that he goes to, they will always.
And the worst part about it is, even after all this, he was still releasing videos of his gun collection.
Like everybody's supposed to be scared of him.
Including a magazine that was illegal in the state of California. Now, I think gun laws are complete BS, but just remember something. The Constitution is for honest, hardworking citizens, not child predators.
Facts. And you want to know what I found kind of odd, though? Even when Predator approached, I found out that he was also messing with minors as well, trying to get them to do certain things.
That turned out to be fake. That turned out to be false. But here's what did not turn out to be false. Him saying the N-word, which I did make a video about back in the day. Yeah.
And it was
Although there's one detail that I actually got incorrect. I thought he said it after calling EDP's ex-girlfriend, but no, it was actually from years ago, back when he was 19 years old. Though he did try to dance around responsibility for saying it, and that it was wrong for him to say it. He tried to dance around that, but no. Once you say it, it's a wrap. It's over. It doesn't matter what you try to say. You're done. You're done.
Yeah, although people are done too,
also, because EDP is still out there on the loose with his gun collection. They think Chet Goldstein botched it and has failed. Now I will say this. He actually does catch some guys on a second attempt. Like there was this one creepo that wanted to lather barbecue sauce on an 8-year-old.
Huh?
And Chet Goldstein caught him not once, but twice with evidence of him wanting to do that.
Are you serious?
Dead serious.
Wow, bro. That is just... What is going on with this world, bro?
I don't even know. I don't even want to know.
Like, and you know what? I was gonna tell you that I seen the video of Chet Goldstein, and it was a clip when he was talking to some dude. I think he was like a minor or anything. Was telling him to do something with his shirt and with his stomach and everything. I don't know, and it was sounded some.
It was one of his friends at the same age using a younger person's voice. He claimed that they were practicing those minor voices, so when they catch predators online, they can use those higher pitched voices to make the predators think they're talking to the minor that they are after.
That's disgusting. And not only that, they're gonna have them send them pictures of themselves to try to get the predators to think that they're actually talking to them, like you said before. But there's this one video
What they do is they actually tell the predators the age right away. They don't try to hide it and then give it to them at the last minute because that's BS. They make sure they know the age right away and just see how they react to it. And this is how he catches them.
That's sad though, man. Like all the other YouTubers that be doing it though. Although there was this the video I saw of them, boxing with the guy that was supposedly being a predator and everything. And that got so bad to the point where he ended up throwing up. And he was serious about to die. All because he's trying to, try to box with him and stuff. Cody to try to save him from going to jail because of what he was trying to do to her or whatever it is he was doing. But what they're doing is straight up illegal. I think they should just let the real authorities handle things like this because this YouTube stuff, it's not helping any case. It's just going to make things worse.
Actually, they've gotten many people off the street, but there are a few things that they did that was inauthentic. But they have successfully gotten many predators off the streets. And investigations take time.
I think that's kind of stupid, though. I still think they should.
They get them to admit. They get them to admit what they're saying on camera, and it's also because they travel across the country. It also helps them with revenue. It also helps them with profit. That way, they can travel across the country to catch these guys because they go cross country. They have to stay at hotel rooms, which is not cheap at all.
No.
So the income has to come from somewhere.
I've got to tell you, the other day I was watching a video on YouTube. I think it was some Justice System channel, whatever they was called. They did a video on a 9-year-old girl that has over 1 million views. I mean 1 million views. So the older sister was trying to see if she was going to steal $5,000, which looked like $500. First of all, which looked fake. Which we all know the videos on YouTube that look fake are scripted, by the way. So the thing I hate about it was, first of all, even though she put the money up, they ran up on her and they scared her to death, yelling and then the guy who does this, real talk, trying to break down some facts about what's gonna happen if you keep on stealing and stuff. And once she realizes that it was wrong, they had her traumatized. She was trying to hold back tears because of what happened. I felt that was humiliating. I felt that was embarrassing. I felt that was really uncalled for you to do something so low on camera. So once that little fiasco was done, he was telling the girl to give the officer a hug and the older sister a hug. And then at the end of the video, the police officer, who was fake, by the way, gave her a real donut. I'm like, what is this crap?
Yeah, what?
Yeah, man. I think one of the videos I've done, the link to the original video is already in the description. So,
gotcha.
Yeah, you still got Instagram or you got Twitter?
I do have a Twitter. It's @BigDominus, and my Instagram is still the same. Although for some reason one of your accounts still can't follow your main account. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know, man. We have to figure out myself though. Unless I have to follow you though.
Right.
Well, I'm about to end the stream anyway. So, but listen.
Me too.
Listen. Whenever you get a chance, comment your Twitter page. On the streaming video.
So that's what I'm gonna do.
You.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah. All right. So I think that's about it for the stream. I thank y'all for coming out, talking to me once again. This was such a fun stream. We talked about Toys R Us. We talked about WWE. We talked about Hasbro, Power Rangers. We definitely talked about OnlyFans. And we definitely talked about the topics that we needed to discuss. And Big D, I thank you for coming on, chat with me as always.
Way to eliminate your main source of income, OF. I don't feel too bad because you've never gotten a dime from me anyway.
Yeah, I know, man. But guess what? OnlyFans are for simps. That's what simps do. And thank y'all. You and I are none of that. So, yeah.
Right.
I'm going to holler at y'all tomorrow. I thank y'all for coming out, man. This was such a fun chat, man. And Y'all take it easy. God bless. Love y'all, bro.
All right. Peace out.
All right, man.
All right, man.